Good morning. This is Elle Rock, and this is Channel Rockaritaville. And I have been up all night and been being pushed to come on the air with you guys. So, all I can say is, first of all, what's with the energy already? Oh my God. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but man, I'm getting downloads and just upgrades, all kinds of amazing stuff. And I kind of spent all day Friday. I called in sick to work or emailed in sick and spent all day Friday pretty much sleeping, which was apparently needed. I was in the Philippines all last week, which means I was 15 hours ahead of you in Pacific Standard Time with me. And I've been having a hard time getting back on track. Terrible jet lag. Barely make it through the day at work, and then basically just go to bed. So, anyway, I'm here with you guys, and I wanted to share just the sunrise outside my back door. One of the things I was thinking about last night is changing the name of my channel to something with rock pool in it. Here is the rock pool in my backyard. And as a water sign, a Scorpio, water's super healing for me. And I don't know, I was thinking something like kicking it at the rock pool or something like that. So if you guys have thoughts on that, please share. And we'll get to the reading here in a little bit, but I just want to kind of hang out with you guys. We're going to do coffee and cards, so at some point press pause, go get your coffee, and we're going to kick it. There's probably going to be at least 2 episodes, most likely 3, because I'm chilling with you guys and I'm doing my spiritual thing this morning. So we're going to be talking energy and, upgrades, what's coming in, what, Gaia's reflecting through the cards. We're going to do the herbiary and the bestiary cards and just check the vibes. And we'll do that all the way up through winter solstice. Is it solstice? Yeah. December 22nd. Today's December 14th. So we'll read for that duration. We'll do charms. Probably the full reading will probably hit episode 2 with charms. And we'll see if we move into episode 3, how it's just going, because we're chilling. So coffee and cards is going to be a little bit longer today. And yeah, so I guess kind of the vibe I want to bring in today is the vibe that I have with my girl Adventure, who I mentioned in the last video. We would be having what we would be calling a session, and it's just kind of a time where we talk about our upgrades and what's happening energetically in our lives. So we're going to do that together on the channel, kicking it at the rock pool here at Rockaritaville. So I'm going to press pause, and we'll be back online upstairs here shortly. And welcome back. Coffee in the grow cup, because why not? We're in the middle of that. So we are going to do our reading from the Manual of the Warrior of Light and also our Oath of Manifestation. So let's dig in, shall we? Yeah, take a breath. I accept and receive unexpected good, unexpected money, unexpected love, unexpected kindness, unexpected generosity, unexpected offers, unexpected prosperity, coming in unexpected ways from unexpected places in my life and the life of others. I am constantly guided and boldly empowered to receive the lavish abundance of the universe. I accept the principle that abundance and prosperity have already been given to me. My acceptance makes it real and opens the space for manifestation to rush in. I open wide the doors of my consciousness to receive and to give. It is done now. Through this oath of manifestation, all things are possible. I declare absolutely that I live in a friendly universe that is always providing for me. I feel it powerfully happening now. I open to receive more abundance and to give more abundance than I have ever experienced before. I can afford anything I desire. In fact, I am so prosperous, I need never worry again. I am grateful for all that I already have, and I am grateful for all that I am ready to give. I keep myself lifted in high consciousness no matter what the appearances are. God is all there is. I let the God times roll, and so it is. And that is authored by Reverend Dr. Cheryl J. Ward at the Agape International Spiritual Center. Next up, we are going to do our reading from the Manual of the Warrior of Light. A warrior of light practices a powerful exercise for inner growth. A warrior of light practices a powerful exercise for inner growth. He pays attention to the things he does automatically, such as breathing, blinking, or noticing the things around him. He does this when he feels confused, and in this way he frees himself from tensions and allows his intuition to work more freely without interference from his fears and desires. Certain problems that appeared to be insoluble are resolved. Certain sorrows from which he thought he would never recover vanish naturally. He uses this technique whenever he is faced with a difficult situation. Wow, take that in for a minute. That was beautiful. So we've just passed through the full moon in Gemini, and we are coming up on the winter solstice. We're finishing out the dark season. So it's December 14th here in the Northern Hemisphere. And, well, I don't do math, I do words. So, whatever the math is from the 14th to the 22nd. That's kind of the time period that we're looking at. But, energy's timeless. So you may be in this vibe when you find this video. So check it out. So on the bottom of the deck, so before we started the reading, as I mentioned, I've been up all night, and probably because I slept all day. So I burned sage and a Palo Santo holy stick and cleared the area. And I don't know if you can see them back here, but let me just grab the camera and show you. I have these two Santas who are, kind of trying to do their sneak gifting. Oh, the shadows get in the way, but there's a little mouse there that Santa's telling to be quiet, and also a little dog Santa's telling to be quiet. And so that really was stepping out for me, standing out in terms of just kind of being in silence. The energy's been really, really intense. The full moon, whatever it is, there could be planetary aspects for those who are astrology proficient. If there's things going on planetarily and you want to leave that in the comments box, I'm sure that would help. But the energy's just been intense, and when you're growing through things, the invitation is to be in silence and, to be meditative and to do, what the warrior of light does, and just, take stock in the present moment of just your breath and your beingness. And so the cards were really cute. They were really validating because surrender to silence kept coming up. It kept popping out of the deck when I was doing the pre-shuffle. So It reads, in quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. So, I just think that that's really beautiful, and kind of want to validate sort of the messages that I was receiving before I went on air, which is just being silent and being with yourself and just allowing whatever's happening to happen, and be mindful, be present, be aware. Things are transmitting and you are transmuting energy. And when you're transmuting energy, what that means is you're taking it from one form to another. You're probably taking a lower frequency and transmuting it to a higher frequency, which means you're letting old resistance go. It's falling away. It's like, oh God, that mud coming off your body after you've been in it for a while. So this is a time of quietude for you. Also, on the bottom of the deck of the mixed herbiary bestiary, we had white sage, clear the way. So, letting go of the past here, the whatever it is you're letting go of, the bones have been picked clean. Like, it's done, it's over. Clear out that energy so that the new can come in for you. Excuse me. And, also just using sage, it's always great to have a clearing practice. Energy is something that is really quite fascinating, actually, when you really kind of study it and begin to understand it. It really does have a tangible resonance at times. And by that I mean, for example, I once lived with somebody who had an energy of like walking through little cobwebs, really sticky and fine, and kind of clung on to you, and it was a very spider webbish energy, but that really fine kind of just grabs you without even really being able to see it. You know that it's there. And so when you use a practice like white sage or prayer or holy water or whatever it is you choose to, clear and honor an energy, as you clear it out, this is your time to be able to do that. Maybe an incense stick, maybe lighting a scented candle, something like that. But you're clearing out space. Also, remember your environment. Maybe it would be good to clean out your car or clean your bathroom, or, maybe you're just clearing space within your space, your desk drawers at work, something like that. But this is really very much a clearing energy to get out that stagnant, stale, those bones. Get rid of that. Let that disintegrate and go back to ash in its own way and make space for what's coming in. And I just want to call out all of the alchemical symbols here that, there's magic happening for you, for whoever that's for. And then the bottom of the patch tarot is the sun card, which is, speaks to illumination and divine happiness. And, what really comes to me here is, just all of the symbols lining up along the chakra systems and then bouncing into the heart. It's just be in silence and let that happiness come for you. There are things coming in, and you need to be in silence to be able to receive that. When you're out in the world, I don't know about you, but I live in a, I live in a very high definition city, and everywhere you go, there's a TV. I mean, nothing's sacred, not even the gas pumps, right? And when you're out in a world that's constantly demanding your attention or creating noise, it can be hard to be illuminated. It is in meditation and in silence that those illuminations happen, that they occur for you. And so, you know, honor this time up until, the winter solstice, and then even after. Cyclically, this is a season in the northern hemisphere where, hibernation occurs, animals going into deep sleep and deep rest until the winter is past. And so, if you're in a winter season in your life, definitely honor that. And, look at this. And it's, oh man, the holidays too. Wow. So, for those of you spending time with family, and especially if it's family where, there are difficult feelings involved, give yourself permission to say no. Just because it's a tradition to have family together doesn't mean that you have to spend your time, energy, money, effort in spending time with people who don't fulfill your soul. Yes, they're blood. Yes, they're family. Yes, you've been taught obligations. But if your holiday season is ruined by the thought of spending time with your family, you have permission to not do that. It is through your illumination and your silence that you will find the answers to those questions. Do I go? Do I stay? This is a time, this is a season that's chaotic energetically. And, just being mindful in your own life and being present in that moment. If you're going out and you're potentially going Christmas shopping and, it's super peoply, maybe you take a pause to finish listening to the song on the radio in the car that you like before you go into the store. Like, be present with yourself. And, by finishing that song, maybe you'll hear a lyric that lands in your heart. You open the door for more potential to arrive to you when you stay in the present moment and you can find your silence within. So, wow, lots of messages just from the bottom of the deck. I'm going to pause and take a sip here. Wow, let's let that settle for a minute. So I really was going to, oh, where'd that deck go? Oh, there it is. Okay. I was going to start off with Bestiary Herbiary, but the self-care deck is coming up. So this is Cheryl Richardson, the self-care cards. And just in regards to the energy, through the 22nd or the current energies that are coming through. What messages do you have in regards to immediate self-care or things to be aware of over the next period? We'll call it the next 10 days. Okay, got a little... I'm just going to... these cards don't feel ready yet, but I'm going to just see what popped out. Self-care is making decisions. So that kind of rant that I just went on about making decisions about spending time with family, that just might be for one person out there. That's part of your self-care. Patience and risk. Whatever it is, you need to have patience with your decision. If you choose to go, you're going to need to take patience with you. And there's, you might just have to take the risk to stay and make a new choice. So the Dark Lady, she's in conflict. She's in ice right now, or it looks like ice to me. And then with patience, that melts. There's a lot of shadow on that. Let me see if I can fix that. My filming has changed recently because of a broken piece of my equipment. So, but do you see here? So what I see is I see ice. And I'm not going to further examine because I go by the art. And she's frozen in her decision. Part of self-care is melting that ice through patience. Do you see how now the ice is melted? And it's lightening up. The clouds are lightening. Your light, which is here and also illuminating here with your patience that melts this ice, is in taking the risk for making the decision for what you want to do that serves your highest good and your highest purpose. So those are what popped out in self-care. So taking your risk, having patience, and making your choices. You always have a choice. You may not like how they look, and don't ever say, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. Sometimes the choices are just not awesome at all. But you always have a choice. And if you can have the patience to wait to make that choice, if it doesn't require immediacy, if it doesn't require, like, now, I need a decision now, you always have the choice to wait, to show patience before you make that decision. So, rest easy. If you've got time to make the choice, then take the time. It's safe. You're good. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay, again, another message of clearing. So, clear the way, clearing. This is part of your self care. Perhaps you need to write your story and clear in that manner. Perhaps you need to revisit your story and clear old energy that maybe you have a judgment about, that you need to let go of, that doesn't serve the present moment. Maybe you need to clear stuff. Look at all this kind of mess at her feet, right? Like, those are those bones. Like, get rid of that shit. Yeah, get it out. um, and acts of self love. I just love this. This is such a beautiful, nurturing card. So, your self care over the period that we're talking about, the next 10 days or so, through the winter solstice, self love. And I just love how she's naked down by the river. And, you can see a house back there, but she's just, she's alone and she's with nature and she's with water and the essence of herself. And so, perhaps if you can take a sea salt bath, or maybe dance naked in the moonlight now that the moon is starting to go dark. And whatever it is that your expression of self-love, maybe that's a nap, whatever it is, give it to yourself during this period. There's a lot coming in. And there's a lot of energy happening, collective energy. If you just tap into the collective consciousness of the holiday season, there's a lot of fear. There's, also a lot of excitement. So find the consciousness that you can tap into. Find the people who are excited about the holidays, not the ones who are grumpy about it. Tap into where you want to be when you need to be out in public. You can broadcast the frequency that you're in and attract that into you. And that's part of your self-love. So when you are going out into the world, I feel like you need to prepare for it, and that is part of your self-love. Nobody ever gets to be a hermit all the time. We're just called out into the world because we're called out into the world. Our jobs, obligations, dental appointments, whatever, I mean, we try to be the best that we can be when we go out into the world. So, self love is how you achieve that. Self love that you give yourself at home, that private time, that alone time, in whatever fashion you take that, is how you fill your cup to be able to go out into the world and be a good human being. And so remember that you're carrying with you that frequency. And your self love is a super important part of being able to maintain that as you travel through the holiday season, into really the new year. So, okay, so that's it for the self care cards. What are we on here right now? 24 minutes. So let me put the cards away, and oh wow, okay. So the clear the way card got stuck. So just again, clearing energy to make space, doing that in silence. Clearing is really making itself known again here at the bottom of the deck. Like, I don't know if you need to clutter clear or what. Uh-oh, my battery's about ready to go dead. I'm going to press pause. Actually, I'm going to end this episode. So this is ending episode 1. We'll go into episode. Actually, I don't know if there needs to be an episode 2. I think that this is just a really solid message. I'm making a decision. Remember the decisions card in self care? Oh, hilarious. I actually do think I'm going to call it good here on episode 1 because I feel like the messages that needed to come out did come out. Um, Really, this is a period of silence and surrender. And at, in ending this, your divine happiness, your sun, your illumination is present for you. Just hold it sacred, be gentle, allow the seeds to grow, whatever it is you're nurturing. And you have a lot coming in terms of upgrades and energy. So do what you can to ground yourself. Eat grounding foods, things from the earth, potatoes, carrots. Um, oh gosh, what else? Things close to the earth, celery. Just high frequency foods will open you up to receive. So probably coffee wouldn't be your best choice today. Maybe like a cup of chamomile tea instead. But just you've got a lot happening, you've got a lot coming in. Your divine happiness is here. You're clearing the way for it. And you just need to be in silence right now and allow yourself to honor that. So, have a beautiful just next cycle ahead. And again, this is a general energy reading. And thank you for spending this beautiful morning with me, and or whenever you get it. When you'll receive this video when you're meant to receive the message. And if it's not for you, check out other readers on YouTube. There's some really great ones out there. And in the meantime, I love you. Thank you for stopping by and kicking it at the rock pool. Have a great one.